want to talk a little bit today about domestic assault trials. And specifically, I want to talk about how they unfold. If you take the average domestic assault situation, it's usually one witness's word against the other. That's the victim or the complainant versus the accused, because it takes place in the context of a home, for example. That's the typical scenario. And there's no other witnesses. So a lot of clients will say to me, look, there was no bruises on, and we represent men too. Let's take it that it's a man. So the man is the alleged victim, we'll say. And I represent the woman. We represent a lot of women on domestic assaults. And in that situation, the client will say to me, well, how on earth can how can I be convicted of a domestic assault? There's no bruises on him. It's just her word against mine, his word against mine. And the allegation was, for example, a shove. How on earth can I be convicted on that? Well, unfortunately, convictions happen every day based on word alone, no other witnesses. And it's that easy. A man who's assaulted by his wife or vice versa can simply phone 911 in the heat of the moment, and they could make up a story. Now, I'm sure most domestic assault allegations are truthful allegations, but don't think for a second that people don't lie. Don't think that men don't lie about being assaulted by their wife. Don't think that women don't occasionally lie. Again, let's be clear, most domestic assaults are accurate and truthful. So how can you be convicted? Well, the judge, let's take a scenario. So let's say I'm representing a woman and the man has phoned 911, and let's assume the man has lied. Well, if he's a convincing liar, he's going to come across well to the police, an articulate, high IQ person, come to court, testify fantastically. Now, the woman who I represent, despite my best efforts, let's say I prepare her for hours, but she's just a nervous, stressed person. She doesn't come across well. She could easily be convicted under that scenario. It's kind of shocking to people. And don't think that a criminal trial, don't think for a second that, we're trying to search for the truth, but do we really get at the truth? Because a convincing liar can come across very well. And conversely, a person who's telling the truth, like a victim, a woman who's been consistently beaten, may just be the worst witness in the world. It happens all the time. I see it all the time. And a clever lawyer may destroy her, unfortunately, on the witness stand. And that's not a good thing, but the lawyer's his clients told him he didn't do it. There was no bruises, and there you go. So it's quite easy to get convicted on word alone. It happens every day. Clients are a little shocked about that. And it's why you really need to prepare very diligently to be able to testify. Because if you're a person who's not that articulate, who has a hard time coming across in public, which is a court is, it's going to be difficult for you, and your lawyer needs to work with you very hard so that the truth comes out. But ultimately, the judge is going to have to decide who's credible, who's reliable, and apply the burden of proof and determine if the evidence supports a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's the conundrum. Unfortunately, let's face it, witnesses lie, accused lie all the time. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but occasionally victims lie as well, alleged victims, and they can come across fantastically. I've seen it happen. And on the other hand, I've seen clients of mine who, I represent the odd, over my career, I'm sure the odd innocent person, as opposed to the presumption of innocence, I mean truthfully innocent, who just can't come across well. And I've seen convictions, I've seen people convicted. And on the other hand of the coin, unfortunately, I've seen so many truthful complainants telling the truth, women and men, present as a disaster as a witness in the stand, and they're just beat up by the defense counsel, unfortunately, and it's not a good situation. So, the court system is a little bit unsatisfactory, obviously, that situation. It just happens. But the bottom line is, on a domestic assault situation, it's usually one person's word against the other. The thing is about that is it also makes it, in the hands of a good defense lawyer, you can often, I would say, usually win a situation like that, especially if there's no bruising or other evidence. So there it is, convictions, whether a conviction can be on word alone in a domestic assault situation. Thank you for watching our video. We are absolutely committed to bringing you the best possible criminal and DUI educational videos. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've been charged with a criminal offense in Ontario and require our services, please click on the link in the description below.